Hello, this is Jerry Morton. Welcome to my podcast series titled Finding My Way, a memoir by Jerry Morton. This is podcast 69, titled The Unexpected. Podcast 69, The Unexpected, is an account of being confronted with an unexpected situation I encountered in my second year, the 1970-71 school year, as a school psychologist in the inner-city schools of St. Petersburg, Florida. My 7 inner-city schools had white teachers and other white professionals, such as myself, working in them for the first time last year. This school year, some white children entered the formerly all-black schools, and black children were attending some of the formerly all-white schools. Podcast 69, The Unexpected. As my second year of serving my 7 inner-city schools of St. Petersburg, Florida began, the school system was under stress. No longer could I say that I was serving all black schools. This was the second year for my formerly all black schools to be integrated. In the first year, some white teachers had been placed in the all black schools. At the start of this school year, for the first time, some white children were bused into the inner city schools, and some black children were sent to formerly all white schools. During the summer, the school system had sent me to the National Training Laboratory, NTL, sessions in Portland, Oregon. The other school psychologists in the system had also gone to NTL sessions in various locations around the country. I had spent the rest of the summer at home with my wife and our 2-year-old son. Having moved to Florida the previous summer, we still felt like northern tourists on our Florida vacation. I felt refreshed as the school year began and eager to apply what I had learned at NTL. All I could do was what was before me to do. The beginning of the school year produced a barrage of referrals from teachers to evaluate children with problems, assisting them with classroom management issues, and in conducting after-school sessions for black and white teachers in better coping with the racial misunderstandings they seemed to be confronted with. The goal of those sessions was to bring the mixed racial professionals together so that they could work smoothly together in educating their students. The working relationship I had established in my schools last year facilitated my entrance to the schools and with both the old and new staff members. I began getting requests from staff members to just meet with them and or children they were concerned about. These referrals were not simply for testing and writing a report on the test results. They were for problem-solving purposes. Some situations that occurred at the junior high school will help in understanding the open-ended referrals that were becoming more and more frequent. One of the guidance counselors at the junior high school asked me to meet with a boy who couldn't read. She said that all of his teachers reported that he was really smart. The child could understand and remember what was said in the classroom well enough to get average or above average grades. However, he never read from his textbooks. He never read an assignment. If the lesson wasn't orally covered in class, he just never learned what he was assigned to read. I agreed to meet with him while explaining that I didn't know much about teaching a child how to read. Maybe I could get an understanding as to what the emotional issues were for him that might be involved in hindering his reading skills. The boy entered the little office space that I used at the junior high pleasantly. I introduced myself as we shook hands. "Why have they asked you to meet with me?" I inquired with a smile.
"I don't know."
"How are your classes going?" Not so well. Why is that? I can't read. Darn, that's got to be depressing. Yeah, it is. Well, I'm not a reading teacher. I don't know how to help you with learning to read. I don't even have a reading test to give to you. That's okay. Would you mind if I ask you to read something for me? I mean, it's not a reading test. I just want to understand how well you are reading. It's just so I get a feel for what you are experiencing. Yeah, I'm okay with that. You'll see. I just can't read. Looking at the bookshelf in the room and reaching for a book, I went on. I don't know what these books are. I just want you to read a paragraph from it. Gosh, this is a college textbook. It's got a lot of long words in it. I don't expect you to be able to read a college textbook. You will make a lot of mistakes. I mean, it's a college textbook. No one in junior high school is expected to read all the words in a college textbook. You're going to miss a lot of words. I just want to see how many you get right. Is that okay? Yeah, I won't get many, but that's okay. Handing the book, I stated, open it up anywhere. Just open it up to a page full of writing. How's this one? He asked with the book open somewhere in the middle. It's got a lot of words on this page. I won't get them. Not to worry. I won't be able to pronounce some of them either. We'll be in the same boat. We both laughed at that. Pick out a paragraph to read and I'll count out the number of words in it. Then I'll keep count of the number of words you read correctly. Remember, you're going to miss a lot of them. This is a college book. What can you expect, right? Yeah. Oh, that paragraph's too long. Get a shorter one. I don't want to be here all day. That line brought genuine laughter from the child. He then picked one that had 7 lines in it. That's a good one. Let me count the lines. There are 7 lines in it. Now let me count the number of words in one of the lines. There are 12 words in this line. 12 times 7 is 84. There are about 84 words in this paragraph. Now I want you to read all 84 words. I will keep track of how many words you get right. Remember, there's no way you can get all of them right. This is a college textbook, for heaven's sake. He began reading something like this. Belong was posts. The actual sentence should have read, the beginning was a matter of perception. He went through all 7 lines with the pattern of getting the little words correct, but fumbling over longer words to finally make up a word rather than sound out the whole series of letters making up the word. When he finished the paragraph, I counted up all the words he had gotten correct. The total was 36. Well, that wasn't as bad as you thought it would be, was it? I asked with a smile. He agreed. 36 words out of 84 words. What percentage of all of the words was that? Can you do long division and tell me? Sure, he said with a big smile. I handed him a pencil and a piece of paper. Quickly, he wrote the figures down and came up with the answer. It's 42.8%, he proudly stated. You're really fast. That's quick figuring. Let me do it now to check. I wrote the numbers down and divided 84 into 36. Wow, you are good at math. You figured that out a lot faster than I did. Congratulations." The boy was beaming with a bright big grin. Now let me make an observation. When you got to a big word, you would try to pronounce the first couple of letters, but it got too hard to keep sounding them out. So you just kinda made up the word, right? Yep. I just can't do those big words. Now, I beg to differ. You clearly know the sounds of all the letters. I say you can sound out a lot of the words you just rushed through. You just have to be patient sounding out letters. Once you do that, you are able to know what the word is. No, I just can't read. I think you can. Let's do an experiment. Let's reread the paragraph, but this time we will take our time to sound out the letters in the big words. I'll help you. He agreed, and we began. It took a while, but when he had finally gotten through the paragraph, we counted up all the words that I had circled that were correctly read. Can you believe this? You got 74 words right out of 84. That's really good. This is a college textbook. Of course no one expects you to be able to read a college textbook, and here you are reading 74 out of 84 words. Quickly, tell me what percentage of all the words you read. He did the math and proudly declared, "I got 88% of the words right." My gosh, that's impressive. I never dreamed a junior high school student could read 88% of the words in a college textbook, and you did it. The boy was proud of his accomplishment. Let me tell you what I think has happened to you. When they first started teaching reading to you in first grade, you had trouble. Yeah. The teacher would have everyone read aloud. You got embarrassed about all the mistakes you were making. Am I right? Yeah, I just didn't want to do that and read aloud, Right, so you stopped reading. You started reading less and less until you just stopped. Yeah, that's what happened. Well, here's the secret. Reading is no big deal. In order to read well, you have to practice. You just stopped practicing, that's all. Am I right? Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't like to do it. I'm not any good at it. Sure, it makes sense. You got embarrassed when you first started to read. You began to practice reading less and less, and then you just stopped. It makes a lot of sense to me. Let me ask you a question. Okay. You're kind of tall for your age. Do you play basketball? Yeah, I'm on a team. That's great. When did you first start playing basketball? Oh, about second grade, he stated with pride. Oh, yeah, and I bet the first time you picked up a basketball, you could dribble as well as you can today. Of course not. That's what I mean. Dribbling a basketball is a highly complex skill that has to be acquired. It takes a lot of practice to be as good at it as you are now. Sure, came the smiling reply. So, reading is a highly complex skill that can only be gotten by practicing a whole lot, just like being a good basketball player. The boy looked at me, but said nothing. You have proven that you have the basic skills to read. You just sat here and read 88% of the words in a college textbook. You read that by slowly and carefully sounding out the letters in the big words. You know how to read. You just haven't practiced reading enough to be a smooth, quick reader. The child was nodding his head in agreement. So I'll tell you what. Don't tell anyone you can't read. Just tell them that you aren't a good reader because you decided not to practice. You decided not to practice reading. That's okay. I can't dribble a basketball because I have not practiced dribbling a basketball. Do you think I'm a bad person for not practicing dribbling a basketball? Of course not. I don't think you're a bad person for not practicing to be a good reader. You can be a good reader. All you have to do is practice reading. It's your choice. Yeah, I guess you're right. There's no guessing to it. You can read. You can be an excellent reader. If you want to be a good reader, all you have to do is practice. That's all there is to it. We parted with light hearts. It wasn't until 2 weeks later, my next visit to the junior high, that I saw the poor reader's guidance counselor again. Immediately upon entering the guidance counselor's complex of offices, the guidance counselor approached me and asked, "What did you do? What did you do with that boy, the one with the reading problem?" Oh, what went wrong was my immediate thought as I replied, "Well, we just talked a little." "Well, you did something. All of his teachers, all they can talk about is how he keeps reading. Every time you see him, he's reading something. His grades are coming up too."